Hello, welcome back to another video. This is the Towns and Towers mod spotlight. Does seem to be a bunch of these exclusive things, which, as far as I can tell, we're not getting much out of. So I also tried the Mimic Desert. Let's try the Pillager Outpost to start with, see if this will actually work. It does look like for some reason the find time is super slow on this one, so I'm not quite sure why that is. I guess it's very far away. So yeah, whether I'll edit, I'm probably not going to edit them out, to be honest. But I will try to spend about a minute at each destination. So yeah, here we are at the Badlands Pillager Outpost. Just to get like a feel for this sort of mod, what's going on with it. Immediately I'm thinking there's an illusioner in there. Oh no, it's in LA. Okay. Because I don't know the sounds too well. Isn't that an illusioner sound? Look at that. My first thought is it's kind of just a retexturing. A little bit. It's a little bit different, but not significantly different. It's pretty simplistic. Because the thing is, you can sort of tell pretty quickly if you're going to get something which is very different, or like something which is really quite skillfully done. And this to me is just like a retexturing type thing. So yeah, not sure exactly how I'm going to cover this one. There's a lot more structures, but it doesn't necessarily. Interesting. Just trying to get it like a feel for. Why are they capturing the LAs all the time? That is kind of weird. Is that a thing in the lore? I must have missed that bit. I mean, it's less formulated style. This is like, if the one I covered yesterday, Simply Houses, was more like formulaic, you know, this is more some interesting stuff. That's another interesting approach to having a bed, right? The bunk bed situation. This seems to be a common thing. Hang the bell up by a chain. It's like a campsite type thing. Buttons on the log is kind of cool. Kind of like that. That looks cool. Well, let's just go through the rest of these pillager outposts while we're here then. Birch Forest one is next. I think maybe it just needed a little bit of time. Like I said, I'm going to move through quite quickly just because I spent too long on Simply Houses yesterday. It's a great mod, but what's going on here? Quite intricate roof design. I need to check on my shaders. I think if I update Iris, I haven't updated it for a while. That won't happen. I noticed it happening quite a bit. It's not like the end of the world though. That's the thing. It doesn't. I've just noticed it a few times. But yeah, it's a bit. I don't know. This design is leaving me a little bit cold. This style. That is a thing, isn't it? It is a thing to do that with the trapdoors. Spiral staircase in the middle. Not bad use of space. So why is that window broken? Because I just broke it. Oops. Another table design. This is quite a nice little unit. Okay, the oven with the campfire under the iron trapdoor. And the top level, yeah. Alright. Let's go check out the one in the desert. Oh, we are going all over the place, aren't we? I think what happens is, whoa. Isn't this what they use in the desert villages? I guess so, right? There's two captured here this time for some reason. We got a little plant area. Yeah, you have to have at least 3.5 high, right? It's a little bit cramped in there. A little bit cramped about. Yeah, the style is different. It's such a weird style. I just like. I wonder if I could do this style better than the other one. You know what they do, by the way? That's weird. Doesn't the leaf block have to be attached to wood? Otherwise it despawns. I realize it's enough. I always thought, like, does that count? That doesn't count, right? I wonder if that does count. I really should turn them off. But they are kind of adding a bit to the ambience, so I will leave it. That's one thing about videos, is that, like, depending on, like, the age group of the person watching, like, if someone's older, they'll find that noise annoying, but if someone's younger, they actually really like it. That's something I realised. Is this just unrelated? Isn't this just a... yeah. Okay. It happened to spawn there. Alright, let's get to the flower forest now. Well, I still feel like I'm going quite slowly, but... it does take its time, I'll tell you that much. Well, I mean, to be fair, I should have just put them all next to each other and just massively increase the spawn rate. But that can also cause problems. So it's like, you know. Okay. Well, it's an interesting route, isn't it? How many types of deep snow have we got here? Is it just the two, I guess? Polished with cobbled. It doesn't look good though. It looks terrible. Let's be honest. There's a reason why nobody does that. Yeah, the design on this is definitely worse than. It is different. It's different, but it's like, it's when it gets to like to be like super like medieval style, it starts to look worse. Like, it fits in better with Minecraft potentially, but it's like the Minecraft design isn't that good. It's got nice symmetry, this room there. I'm surprised you would back it with that. It doesn't look right. There's also not a use of... oh, no, they're still the same thing. I don't know, maybe it's not. Maybe it's a similar level. Shroom light in the middle. Light fittings are good. That's a good light fit. I don't think I saw anything as good as that in Simply Houses. It does look good like that. There's so many little tricks you can do with the roof and the half slab stuff. Yeah, it's certainly not roofing based, but yeah. I don't know, it's interesting, isn't it? There's so many different styles that you can do. All right. Hopefully, I don't get too many. In yesterday's video, Simply House, every time I teleported, I did get. It was because my cable was too hot, the audio cable. It wasn't too bad, the little crackling, but I've got to. I need to do something on the goat horns. I really don't know the difference. You can't play it, can you? Huh. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not going to go and get every single goat horn and play them. I feel like some people who maybe watched me a bit more often probably would have thought I would do that. I was thinking about it, to be honest. But it's just I know how like oh, look at this. I really like this. This is really nice contrast with the moss and the cobble. It's when things get irregular like this that I start getting a bit like, uh-oh. I think you need to. It's like, I wonder, like, can someone who does the irregular stuff also do the regular stuff? Because this is like candles. Interesting that their approach to beds is just to use carpet. Is that like a signature thing? Just use carpet. Just because the other person did the weird thing with just one block space bed. Cool though. It's cool to see, like, I guess I'm just reviewing like all the different yeah. That was a forest outpost. So, I thought grove was going to be a problem, but no. No problem with the grove. I wish it would just put you at 120 every time. It used to. I feel like in older versions it would. Sorry if I sometimes make like weird noises in my throat. I noticed I started doing it recently. Not entirely sure why. It's because of the decongestant thing, but not very interesting. But I may as well talk about it. Basically, in America, the decongestant that is used in Britain is actually banned in America. And I was like taking it. I was like, why is this? You know? And I was like, why is it banned in America? And it's because it's a vasoconstrictor, and they don't want that in America. And I'm like, you know what? I think America's right on that one. So I'm going to get the actual American product. But anyway, it's not really relevant to this video. But I did waste a load of money on that. Hard to analyze this because it looks good, but to me it's just a bit too randomized. Like, what even is this? It's like no idea. I guess there's archers here. Yeah, I mean this just looks absolute crap. It makes me think this is someone who maybe started building like a long time earlier. This kind of stuff, like this is like, bro, 2022. But magnesium is good to. You know what? Let's not keep on going on about how I'm going to vasodilate. But that is but to be honest, it is my channel, isn't it? Vasodilation is very important. How do you dilate the blood vessels, right? And the answer is basically, I feel like you just get like a load of magnesium, you know, somehow. But, I mean, that's basically the answer, because that is what magnesium does. It's a vasodilator. So if you get a load of magnesium, you're going to dilate your blood vessels. They're not going to be constricted so much. It's kind of obvious. It's like, I wonder why nobody says that though. It's like no, of course nobody's going to say that. But like, your blood vessels don't want them to be constricted. So how do you unconstrict them? Well, why don't you dilate them? What dilates them? You see what I mean? It's like, it's an obvious way of thinking, but it's never addressed in that manner for some reason. And it's basically just because it's a similar thing to programming. It's just that people who know best are so arrogant that they don't want to express it in a way that makes any sense to normal people. And it's like that in everything, in like the whole, in like every kind of possible thing. But anyway, this place, it's all right. I don't know. Maybe I just feel maybe was too enthused with the one else. This room's cool. I kind of like this room. How have you done that? What is that? That looks really good, doesn't it? That looks really good. You know what I'm getting the feeling from is that actually probably the overall design of the houses was better in Simply Houses, but some of the like the chair design is better. The bed design, I think, is better in this rather than and the wardrobe design. So it's like that's what the way to look at it. This table also looks quite good. Don't have like this like fussy, messy, everything's decayed style because I don't like that. It looks sloppy, right? But on the flip side of that, some of these, the furniture is good. You know? I mean, what is it? That's... I think the beds look cool. But yeah. It's almost like play the game of where is the guy being held. That's kind of an interesting thing that they've always captured the LA. The table is like, do these colours even go? It's not a good unit. This is just going to be an even longer video. I might actually encode this one at a lower bit rate because otherwise otherwise it's like my upload. Because the one I did before was 38, was a 10 gig upload, but it was only 38 minutes long. That's not good. This video could be an hour and a half, so I need to probably. I don't want it to go over 10 gigs in size. The other problem, of course, is that when you record a video this long, the audio goes out of sync. So you actually need to resync the audio. So there's things like that which are annoying. You have to use a program called Handbrake. Now that's a good point, actually. You can use it as shelving. Yeah. This looks good, doesn't it? Yeah. It looks good because it's like a... I was going to say a granite surface, but yeah, granite can be this colour. So I'm so used to Minecraft granite being red. Granite can be that colour. It's probably dyed or something, or they speckled it or something. But granite, I think granite is normally black, isn't it? Like in actual real life. What is going on here with the roof? Well, this is when I start to get like. I can tell you, this is the most annoying thing when you're trying to copy like a roof design like this. It's just like, wait, what? This is where I would use the effortless building mod. Because the thing is, to be able to do this all the way around, I imagine it's got 4 degrees of symmetry, right? It must do, right? So with effortless building, you'd basically have to place maybe 30 blocks or whatever. Maybe a bit more. I wonder if he's even got 8 degrees of symmetry. It might be that literally this section here, from that point, in effortless building, you can basically do a thing where you make it symmetrical on you can basically choose the cardinality of the symmetry, or whatever. I'm not sure that's the right word to use there. Cardinality means first or second. Yeah, well, 8. I don't know, man. Okay, but yeah, that would be an interesting approach to doing like one of those more complex roof types like that just look like a convoluted mess. Because that's the thing. It's what it's. Are we never going to find this one? No, we got it. But yeah, when you just have like various degrees of symmetry, because that's what I'm thinking. If I was to do building, I'd basically need to, I wouldn't do it manually. I would do it with probably with effortless building because it's the best building mod in terms of its feature set. It's the most advanced. You know, I'd want to be able to basically place that. I'd basically. Yeah, you could probably even make it even more advanced. Like if you know that this is like 3 and this is 3 or whatever, you probably know that's 2 and 2. You could almost maybe like make it predict, Like you could place, like, literally, you could place like 4 or 5 blocks down here in the corner and build the whole thing based on doing this on working out the symmetry there and there. It would know that and that, and it would say, well, towards here it has to be lesser. So like it's often you see the point at the very top here. You're always going to get that section, right? The 4 steps all falling towards that, and then the 1. You don't spawn in mushroom biomes. I do like this the wide staircase design. It's cool. Bit of mushroom. The whole thing's made out of mushrooms, actually. More beds. You know what's interesting about that bed thing is that you can actually create a lot more volume. You can have a lot of beds, but because they take up less space, it doesn't like it's not like you couldn't do that in some of the other builds, like from Simply Houses, because there's just not enough space. If you put that many beds in, it would just literally take up a huge amount of room. And even though it's probably taking the same amount of blocks, when they're because of the flatter nature of them, you know, it basically appears to be taking up less. And that is a big advantage. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh, that is literally 3D as well. Yeah, it looks. You can tell this is more like a pixel artist type thing. To me, it looks worse, but what is going on here? Man. I mean, it looks correct. It's complex, isn't it? Yeah, there's just no symmetry, really. There's like a little bit, like this is probably the same as that, but it's just there's not that much symmetry. Things like this have to be done by hand. And the thing is, I don't mind that because I often find that this I don't particularly think this looks good. I think it looks crap, if I'm being completely honest. Like, yeah, I mean, look at these fences; they look ridiculous there. So yeah. Wow, there's a lot. There's a lot of pillager outposts, aren't there? We may have to. I mean, it may just be that this video is the pillager outpost video. Maybe we'll do a different video for the next one, just because we're going through like old growth. This has even got a little entrance. This is like a little. This is like a little village. I'm not messing around with this. What is this supposed to signify? It's like, why would you even have this? It looks completely pointless. But I know. I mean, the pillagers are thinking, I know what we're gonna do. You know how rail tracks are used for getting to places? We're just going to randomly put them over logs. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, what is this could possibly be? It's nothing, right? It's just like obvious that this is the only block that is available. But you know, they're running out of blocks that are available or whatever. Absolute rubbish. I do like the windowsill with the berries on. That looks good. Well, this makes sense, right? The hay, having a lot of hay. Welcome, mate. I like that. Sometimes it just like feels arbitrary. Like, why have you mixed up all the blocks like this, like just randomly? It's like it would be better if these were all just planks. You can still do this stuff, right? But it certainly looks worse. This looks worse than if these blocks were uniform, 100%. In the upstairs area. Let me have. There isn't even any. There's literally not even a way to get up here, is there? Oh no, there is. Do like the roofing. You know what's funny is that I think some people do roofing, because I didn't notice anything specific about the roofing on the exterior, right? Actually, there's quite a lot to it. This is a good roof, though. There are definitely some interesting details. I do like this roof. And that is in here. We're getting about, aren't we? We are getting about, that's for sure. We're going to have to do a new video on a different topic in the same spot, because there's just too much here. I just can't go that fast. I could, but it's just like, one, the loading times wouldn't be great, but the other is that, like, I feel that if you're watching this video, you probably want to see these things. You don't want to necessarily just be like, and on to the next, and on to the next, and on to the next. You want to consider, like, what is going on with the building. This is what I was talking about in terms of when I was talking about the effortless building symmetry. This section here, basically you have a slab in whatever, say this is south orientation, with a block underneath. Then that's not the best example here, but slab with a block underneath. I mean, that is the same, right? There's definitely a level of symmetry to this structure. That is, and I'm talking about that. It's not symmetry. It's almost All right. If you had a horizontal, if you had a plane going through the basically cutting through the which axis would this be cutting through? It'd be cutting through this. Yeah, like cutting through the y-x axis, wouldn't it? No, it would be going through. Yeah, no, it's cutting through the xy axis, isn't it? I don't know, man. Confusing myself now. Let me just remember. I really don't want to get that wrong. If you have a plane cutting through this, it's perpendicular. It's perpendicular to y, so it must be the xz, right? Yeah, it must be, right? Guess so, right? But anyway. If you are a maths nerd, please help me. You probably don't need too much of a nerd to know that one. But yeah, cool though. Acacia is a really nice wood. There's no doubt about it. I do like the structure of it. This is actually a bit more. This is literally could be fit like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's literally 11 by 11 block. This it shows that you can do so much with just various square rooms. I don't know. It is still too busy though, right? It's too busy. It's not pleasant to look at. But that was Savannah. Wow, there's so many, man. There is so many here. Look at this, we're 32,000 blocks away. Snow Beach. destroy the whole place. Quite a small one, this. No, it's not very interesting, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it's a little bit formulaic, this one. Snow plains. What else does this mod actually add before we do anything else? Wreckage Ocean. A bunch of villages. It's not actually that much. So you know what I might do? It's basically a bunch of villages and a bunch of pillager outposts. So yeah. If you want to watch the villages one, I'll do a separate video on that. This is cool with a little tower. Let's get rid of some items at this point. I might do a separate video on that. I can't. Well. Man, I don't know why I don't like the style so much. The thing is, there's things I do like in the style. Like, that's basically what I'm realizing is that most people's stuff, like, I just find this too boring, right? It's like this too super generic medieval style, you know? What's he ringing about? Huh? What? Why does that happen? Is that a vanilla thing? I guess it is, right? Where do we get to? Snowy plains. Snowy slopes is next. How that isn't even in. Maybe that's one of the. This one might not work actually. This might be to do with the William Withers thing. I did try installing it, and then I thought, well, it's not working anyway for the exclusive, so why? This one I think is not going to work. It's thinking about it, isn't it? It's thinking about it. Are you going to work, bro? It's better just to let it do its thing. But yeah. So there you go. Well, this must be the furthest I've actually travelled. Oh wow, it's unusual that when I go to 120, it doesn't let you do it. Yeah, this is actually worth. This must be super high up. Actually, looks more like a church. This place. Oh, interesting. Bit tough, eh? Did I read they're getting rid of tough, or was that like no? Why did they get rid of tough? Maybe they're getting rid of tough. I definitely think this is like a thing though. They often use the trapdoor on the side with campfires. Just yeah, trapdoors and campfires. It's quite bare bones, this one, but I like it. What colour glass is that? Oh, that's tinted glass. It's got quite like this place. Yeah. There's the snowy one. And how far are we down on this? We've got 5 left. Okay. Oh no, wait. 6 left. So the snowy tiger one. There has been good variation though, to be fair. I don't know how, I'm trying to work out if I've had like a positive outlook towards this, but what have we got there, bro? Oh yeah, of course. That is unusual to use a hay bale for the roof. Not liking this one so much. Oh, you got deep slate ore there. Not much space. They all seem to have the spiral staircase in the middle. Yeah, there's not much variation here. But, meh, bit generic that one. Not sure I'm a big fan. Sparse jungle is next. This one might be, no. See what we got here. We're getting close to, I'm going to start losing frames. It's kind of why I wanted to quit. I can always, the thing is, it's not too bad to have to do the rendering thing. So I can literally render it at like max quality. Why is it always the same goat horn? Maybe a bit of variation. This is quite a small little thing. It's just like a hut or something. Really not much to this. Quite cool though. Quite cool. These little units. Yeah. Next up we have the Sunflower Plains. And here we go. Okay, we've got a big one here. Is that on a weird spawning thing? It looks that way, doesn't it? I bet that would have been not like looking like that otherwise. What was it? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. The reason why this arch looks so good is completely like. Yeah, it's actually quite complex. It's a slab reverses, no, stair reverse, slab on top, straight and then full block. Stair reverse, slab, full block. That'd be a way to remember it going up. You assume that you're going inwards. Stair reverse, up slab, full block. It's very important shape, isn't it, in general? Stair reverse, up slab, full block. See, it's like you'll see that all over the place. Just trying to remember those things. Not in the roofing, you won't see that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think we might just do the final ones a little bit more quickly now. Just because I'm not sure. I feel like whatever there is to, like these things, there's not like there's not an endless amount of different types of things. Like the bed's always the same. A lot of it is kind of similar. So I've probably even gone like a little bit overboard in terms of analyzing these things. Wow, we're almost at 100,000 blocks away. That's how far we've traveled, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, we're not. I feel like I've perhaps got a bit overboard with this. So there's a swamp one, similar sort of thing, and finally the tiger. Yeah, I might start doing these a little bit quicker. I'm gonna make the villager video a little bit quicker than this, I think. Tiger, let's just give it a full. Yeah, yeah, a little bit wider actually, if anything. When you do a bit wider, you can sort of like. It's kind of funny how they choose which ones get the spiral. If it's wider, it gets a balcony. Oh wow, this is really open plan, isn't it? What's the grain in the Just average. Oh, that's why they put barrels, because it's like, in a way, I feel like that's probably why the barrels go there, because otherwise it's like, which grain do you put? The answer is probably to put this grain, but not necessarily, right? I feel like I think it is necessarily. You would never ever put this grain here. That would never happen. Well, it could. And I feel like if you just do a barrel, that's sort of like. I guess that's why they do it, because then you can have both grains in one. That must be what they're sort of thinking. It's kind of like that. Because in Simply House they did that as well. Interesting with that. All right. Finally, we have the wooded Badlands. Let's do a nice. There's an azalea tree. When are we going to find the wooded Badlands? Right now. So we finish 116,000 blocks away from where we started the video, which I assume we started somewhere like that. And this again is a similar to the sparse jungle. I wonder if, like, thematically that is how they think of it. Because certainly, like with like the gold mines in the Badlands and stuff, it is like or the jungle temple, it is like a place to travel to. And even you could say desert temple is like again, like it's not like like a living place, it's just a place to travel to. I wonder if that is why these are more like sort of like encampments rather than actual like like living quarters. But yeah, that's gonna do for this video. I may or may not do a one on the villager buildings. We will see. We will see. Thanks for watching.